Hey there gamers, this is Charlie with Gamer Professionals here with a new episode of This Week in Gaming. If you weren't here for last week's episode, yes, I'm on screen, and yes, this is a new version of the weekly gaming news top 5. Now, before we do a big old dive into this week's news, I just want to give a big thank you to our website's editor and founder, Brandon Bowie. He helped me get some of this equipment. I'm sure you can tell the production value is better. There's a mic, better camera. So yeah, he's just kind of helped me get everything feeling a little bit better, looking a little bit better, to match the quality standards of what he and I both want to have for these videos and for the YouTube channel. So I hope you guys appreciate the jump in production value, and I hope you guys show him some love on social media. I'll have that link down below in the description. I'm going to be honest, guys, this week's news makes last week's news look like, well, last week's news. Although the majority of the news is coming from the Nintendo and Sony camps, the Terminator also releases a playable character for Mortal Kombat 11, Activision Blizzard really wants an Overwatch character to be in Smash, and Red Dead Redemption 2 finally gets a PC release date. To get the bad news out of the way first, Alpha Dream, the developer behind games such as Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story and Mario & Luigi Dream Team, and a bunch of the other Mario & Luigi games, has sadly filed for bankruptcy. According to the most recent reliable information, the studio's profits have been relatively low, with development costs actually sinking the studio's budget into the red. I'm sure that having their two most recent titles being remakes of not very old games on a pretty much dead-in-the-water 3DS can't help the company's profit margins. For some reason, Game Freak decided that we had hours on end to watch this. So earlier this week, the Pokémon Company announced that they were holding a live stream for this event at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Why? And that it would include new information on the upcoming Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield. With the live stream hours behind us, basically all that was revealed was Galarian Ponyta and that there were 1 or 2 Pokémon returning from Gen 6. This followed a major information dump from Game Informer, who actually sat down to do some interviews with some of the minds behind the first console Pokémon experience. Some highlights from those interviews include new information on max raid battles, which, according to the interviews, may be some of the most challenging Pokemon battle experiences to date. They also revealed that the games will introduce an optional autosave, as well as EXP share being baked into the experience. HMs are seemingly gone for good, that there's been new balancing done to make competitive Pokemon a bit more inclusive to everyone's favorite Pokemon. And of course, speaking of everyone's favorite Pokemon, every Pokemon will at some point return to the franchise in future entries in the series. In the same information dump, it was wrongfully reported that there would be 18 gyms, 1 for each type, in each game, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, varying depending on which version you buy. That is, however, not the case, as Game Freak clarified in an official statement recently that each game would only feature 8 gyms, as is Pokemon standard. At least the Pokemon Company gave us something. We here in the West woke up to a new Brain Age announcement trailer for Japan only. The trailer showed off some interesting uses of the Switch's hardware and a new stylus that will come with physical versions of the game. Nintendo has yet to confirm the title's release date for the West or to even announce it for the West. This week saw some more Nintendo non-announcements, but not in the same way as the Brain Age trailer. Nintendo Japan's Twitter account tweeted out 2 new job openings that suggested, wait for it, Nintendo's making video games, guys! One tweet advertises a role for a level designer in a new 2D action game, and the same tweet showed some various screen grabs and stills from Mario games past as well as Mario Maker 2. The other tweet features some more vaguely Mario-related stuff, and it advertises another level designer job, but this time for a 3D action game. As to whether or not this is going to be a Mario game, it's kind of unsure, but it seems pretty likely. Although not surprising that Nintendo's making a 2D and a 3D project, it's really interesting to see how Nintendo simultaneously announces development projects while also avoiding spoiling stuff for people. That wasn't all the Mario news we got this week though. Nintendo finally put out Mario Maker Update 1.1.0 that adds a feature that should have been there from the beginning. The update adds a new layer to the multiplayer mode that allows friends to play with their other friends on other Switch systems. Nintendo was on a roll not announcing things like they did with these 2D and 3D projects. As Jeff Kaplan, Blizzard's vice president, spoke to IGN in a recent interview. With Overwatch coming to Switch, many fans are quick to assume that Nintendo and Blizzard have been making nice, and that an Overwatch character might be coming to Smash. So naturally, these suspicions came up in the interview, and Kaplan expressed very clear interest in having a character in Smash. Unfortunately, his reaction is the same we've heard before when a higher up in another company has been asked about whether or not they want a character or think a character could get into Smash. This time, an actual announcement, guys. Red Dead Redemption 2 finally got a PC release date of November 5th. This announcement was paired with the announcement that Red Dead Redemption 2 will launch on Google Stadia as a launch title. Well guys, things are changing in the PlayStation camp. This week indicated big changes for the market leader. It was announced that Sean Layden will be stepping down as studio chair from Sony Interactive Entertainment. And in the same breath, it was revealed that Sony was giving developers free access to add crossplay to whatever game they were making for the PS4. Hot on the heels of Layden's announcement, however, there were new reports that suggested infighting and uncertainty in terms of Sony's upcoming console. This is, of course, all a rumor, so we don't know how much of this we can trust, so make sure to keep all this information with a grain of salt. Based on the amount of publications that are publishing some of this information, it seems like it's pretty reliable, but nothing set in stone. Speaking of PlayStation, do you guys remember this hunk of artist rendering? Well, it turns out that according to rumors, it's a PS5 dev kit. The same anonymous leaker that claimed that this dev kit is actually what it looks like also claimed that the jump between the PS4 and the PS5 will be the greatest computational jump in not only PlayStation history, but console history. This insider also alleged that the PlayStation 5 will ship with a camera, similar to the way the launch model of the Xbox One shipped with the Kinect. I would, however, like to reiterate that this is all a rumor until Sony confirms any of it, and please take this with a grain of salt. So, what have you guys been playing this week? Let me know down in the comments. Personally, I've been playing some more awesome Game Pass games like Banjo-Kazooie and Devil May Cry, and still Metal Gear Solid 2, as well as the delightfully charming Link's Awakening remake on Switch. This week's release calendar wasn't nearly as impressive as last week's calendar was, but it's generating a lot of excitement. Well, Ghost Recon Breakpoint released to pretty much a resounding thud. Shadowkeep, the most recent Destiny 2 expansion, released to massive acclaim. Even people that are really kind of lapsed Destiny fans are hopping back in. Speaking of acclaim, Mortal Kombat, the formerly Acclaim-backed fighting game franchise, just got its new character in the form of the Terminator. NetherRealms even got Arnold Schwarzenegger himself to do VO and mocap for the character. As for our deal of the week, the PS4 Slim, which is basically the new standard model of the PS4, is only $260 at Walmart right now. Act quickly though, because sometimes console sales can be few and far in between. Even though Black Friday is coming, they can sometimes be inconsistent with whether or not you'll actually find what you're looking for. But believe me guys, you really do not want to miss out on some of the games on the PS4 Stellar library. And that about wraps it up for this week in gaming. Did I miss any stories that you found important? Let me know in the comments down below. Or you can just let me know on Twitter at CHAS_MKE. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow us all on social media. And after you do all that, make sure to check out our website for the latest news, in-depth gaming coverage, and reviews.